Recently in the home office. Friday before Christmas. All reporting done thanks to the Nime robot.
So glad I'm done with these robots. Nime is really awesome. No more Excel cell shuffling. Now I have time to think more about role-playing. I think I want to create my own trading post in Dungeons & Dragons next. And then I'll wait for Santa to bring me more rule books. If the creation process just wouldn't be that cumbersome. It takes forever to create that small trading post I want to use in my game. At least if it should have all the bells and whistles. If I only had something like Nime to automate the creation of this stuff. But Nime is only good for business numbers, not for supporting me in play. But it's so empty here. If the creation process just wouldn't be that cumbersome. It takes forever to create these buildings, and the stories around them, and the people that live here, and the dangers that await my hero. If I only had something like Nime to automate the creation of all this stuff. But Nime is only good for business numbers, not for supporting me in play.
Hey Phil, are you sure? Nime can cast powerful spells. Where's the difference? If you follow rules for business numbers, or if you follow rules for story creation. It's all just rules. And that's all that Nime needs.
Alright, so here we have my Nime workflow called the Settlement Creator. What it basically does, it creates a settlement for role-playing games randomly. I want to highlight 3 specific things. First, I try to templatize the whole workflow as much as possible. As you can see, there are quite a few modules and components in this workflow. Instead of rebuilding them from scratch every single time, I basically came up with 2 different repeatable components I'm using over and over again. One, a single dice rolling tier if only 1 die is thrown. And B, a multiple dice rolling tier where subsequent or more than 1 dice are thrown. This approach massively sped up the creation of the workflow. The second thing I would like to emphasize is that it's basically a multi-tier workflow. I have components within components to further emphasize the idea of templatizing stuff. So let me show you. You see I have a component here, and if I open this up, you see I have the dice sim component in here, which I use quite often. For example, as well here. Let's have a look. That's the 3rd level, so to say. As my input tables for the rolling the dice have different sizes, I templatized the dice sim out of the workflow so I can copy and paste it into every component for every step along the process. The dice sim component basically takes care of the size of the tables by determining the highest number, the upper limit here, from the table, and basically using that as a for the dice simulation. The third thing I want to emphasize is that I learned a lot about the BERT reporting engine. I was able to create a report with conditional views, also known as filtering. Sometimes, in my use case here, the rules foresee that you don't get a result or nothing happens. I wanted to include this into my workflow with the nothing is shown option, which I have realized through filtering and conditional views in BERT reports. And that's basically my workflow. This makes this empty place a little bit more crowded. Awesome, now I can walk around in it. Do you now see how versatile this software is, my young apprentice? Just imagine what white magic you can do with your newly gained knowledge.
Finally, I can buy more rule books and more rule books and more rule books and more rule books.